Ladies and gentlemen, with CC10 is coming to an end, and new operators will soon be released. I will give you information about Arknights' upcoming 6 stars, until Chong Yu's limited banner, and which you should prioritize to get at the end of the video. I can't say the upcoming 6 star are great operators in their respective niche, but I'll give my opinion of which operator that is the best in general. So, we'll see the upcoming 6 star operators and talk a bit about them. But we'll dig deeper into each operator's abilities in their own video later. First, we have Dorothy, the first 6 star Trap Master Specialist. In CN server Dorothy actually came before Garville Altar, but just to shift the events around, so we got Dorothy after her. Anyway, Dorothy must be the new 6 star operator we soon get. And now let's see her abilities. As a Trap Master, Dorothy can deploy her traps on any unoccupied ground tile. She has 3 skills, meaning her traps got 3 different effects to support your team. Such as skill 1, which deals physical damage and reduces the enemy's defense. And skill 2 is used if you want to bind an enemy. At M3 it will bind a single enemy for 6 seconds. It can also bind multiple enemies, but the duration of the bind will be reduced. And skill 3, arguably her best skill. This one deals arts damage and will slow the enemies for a few seconds. Have a wider attack range, same as Saga's skill 2. And can activate other traps when in range, creating a chain reaction that would make the enemies bite the dust. Dorothy is a great trap master for those who are looking for creative styles of play. Her trap effects can be a valuable asset, especially with the flexibility it offers, but will be troublesome if you play in some cramped stages with little ground tiles, such as Dosoles Holiday event and the recent Arknights CN event. And slightly unrelated note, she's currently famous in the Arknights CN new game mode, where her S3 traps can be used to spot the enemies easily. But I'm not sure if this will become her selling point in the long terms, as this new game mode is a limited time event, and no telling if it will be back again, but I sure hope so. Next up, if you're looking for someone that can wipe out almost every enemy, then look no further. Shortly after Dorothy's debut, an Obscure Wanderer mini event will come, featuring the best uncle in the world, Młynar. He is the first 6 star Liberator Guard. Have 0 block count, have 3 if the skill is active, very tanky, will ramp up their attack while idle, and then inflict high burst damage. And boy, inflict high damage he did. Like all 6 stars, he has 3 skills, but most or all people will certainly use his skill 3 once it's unlocked. It's because of a good reason, and it makes his skill mastery priority easy. With this skill he can inflict a big amount of damage on the enemies. It also comes with an expanded range and additional true damage for himself and other Kazim-Yesh operators that attack enemies in Mwynar's range. And one thing I love about this skill, the skill uptime almost matches the time it needs for him to maximize his tray. So considering no SP recovery buff or debuff in play, you can immediately activate his skill once it has enough SP. Młynar also got a very useful talent. His first talent will multiply his attack damage and increases the effect plus additional damage reduction if there are 3 enemies near him. As for talent 2, it will make his taunt level bigger. Under normal circumstances he will always be targeted by enemies, and the best thing is that he reflects the damage with some true damage. The same goes for the other Kazim-Yesh operators. So not only he is a great damage dealer with his skills, he is also a great bait unit and blocker when his skill is active. The only thing keeping him from being completely busted is that he won't block and attack when his skill is not active. Then again, it's not really an issue. So getting Młynar is highly recommended to make your stage run significantly easier. And then we have chapter 11. Featuring another NPC becoming playable, we have Feist, codename Stainless. Stainless is the 6 star artificer supporter. Unlike other artificers, his device abilities depend on what skill he uses, and each of his devices is unique for different situations. Like his skill 1 allows him to deploy devices that increase the target's attack. It's normally permanent, and can be deployed on ground or range tiles. And when you activate his skill, Stainless will gain an attack bonus and the device will amplify its effect. At M3 with 2 devices you should get plus 86% attack. As for skill 2, his device will now give 1 SP to the target after a few seconds, no matter what their SP recovery is. But unlike skill 1, the device will slowly lose its HP or duration. And when the skill is active, Stainless will gain some attack and defense, attack multiple enemies, and enhance his device effect. With this skill, I think he officially becomes the best SP battery unit out there. Lastly, for skill 3, his device will turn into a turret that can be attacked by allied units, and gives SP if it's attacked by an operator with offensive recovery skill. And after the skill bar is full, it will fire an explosive toward the enemy in range. Overall, Stainless is a great supporter operator. Those who already have enough DPS units, typically those who rely on someone with offensive or defensive recovery skill, will definitely find him useful. Moving on, our next stop is the Siracusano event, featuring a limited Texas Altar and Penance as the new 6 stars to gacha. So now, let's see Texas Altar. Being a limited already makes her appealing to gacha, but her abilities make it even more appealing. Texas the Omatosa is the second 6-star executor specialist after Phantom, specialized in arts damage and crowd control. She got a wide variety of skills for different occasions. But first let's see her talents. For the first talent, when her skill is active she will gain an attack bonus. And when she defeats an enemy for the first time, she will redeploy herself, recovering all HP and reactivating her skills. A great talent that indirectly make her skills duration longer. And for talent 2, she will have an increased attack speed and some damage reduction before defeating an enemy. Now let's see her skills. All of her skills serve a different purpose. Like her skill 1 that can make her inflict silence on the enemy that she attacked. And some nice additional arts damage. Skill 2 is her main damager skill. Like what some people like to call it. It turns her into a fast redeploy setter. This skill will immediately deal nuke arts damage once she is deployed, and inflicting resistance debuff to surrounding enemies. Then deal arts damage during this skill duration. This skill is perfect to kill a tough enemy, and can be a nice debuff option to partner with other arts damager. And then her skill 3 offers more crowd control option. Immediately nuke enemies twice upon deployment with arts damage, and stunning them for a few seconds. Then summons a sword drain around her that deals arts damage and stuns the enemies briefly. All in all, Texas Altar is an awesome limited operator that you shouldn't miss, as she won't be back anytime soon. Now for the standard 6-star featured beside her, and what makes Texas debut banner more awesome than ever. We have Penance, another 6-star juggernaut after Mudrock. Much like Mudrock, she is also tanky. Her tankiness came from her ability to gain a barrier, a shield that absorbs a certain amount of damage, like Gravel S2 for instance. With her talent 1, she will get a certain amount of barrier after deployment, and gain some more whenever she defeats an enemy. And for talent 2, when she got attacked while possessing her barrier, she will reflect the damage to the attacker with arts damage equal to half of her attack, making her a reliable blocker and bait unit. Her most used skill is her skill 3. While it looks simple but the effects is devastating. It will instantly give big amount of barrier, massively increase her attack to defeat enemy easier, and because of the massive attack she gets, it makes the damage from her talent 2 even more dangerous. Those who wanted a strong defender and attacker unit should consider getting this elegant lady. Next up for the upcoming 6-star we have Reed the Flame Shadow. Reed Altar is the first 6-star incantation medic. She is currently the best incantation as she can be a big help to clear enemies, and providing massive heal to allies. With her talent 1, each of her attacks has a chance to inflict a firebrand effect that will reduce the enemy's attack and inflict arts fragility. A good talent for a team that consists of many arts damager or just for herself. For talent 2, when she heals someone she will receive 50% of the healing amount, making her quite self-sustain in case the enemy is targeting both Reed and the operator she healed. For skills, it's either her skill 2 or skill 3 that you will use. Her skill 2 has a unique ability to put fireballs around to allied unit that will periodically attack one target around that ally, and each of the attacks will also heal the ally, but sadly doesn't work to enmity ops like Penance or summoned unit. This skill is best used to sandwich an enemy between two operators, dealing heavy blow to the enemy and keeping the operators with healing. As for skill 3, arguably her most used skill, this will make her attack 2 targets, increase her attack, making her talent 1 have a 100% activation chance, and overall enhancing her firebrand effect. She can continuously deal arts damage with this. But the most spectacular thing about this skill is that it will make the enemy with firebrand explode when they are defeated, and inflicting firebrand on the enemy who got caught in the blast. Very useful when fighting waves of enemies. Though when fighting only a single enemy, her skill 3 loses its charm slightly, as most damage she dealt came from the firebrand explosion. But it's still useful as a DPS option or debuff, and also healing. All in all, Reed is a great medic caster hybrid. Her heal is not reliable when there's no enemy she can attack or have high resistance. But when there's an enemy, not only she will support others with her heal, but also help them clear the enemies in sight by utilizing her skills. Okay, after Reed also the next new 6-star operators we have is in the Where Vernal Winds Will Never Blow event, featuring a new limited banner consisting of the eldest brother of the Sui siblings, and another most anticipated NPC becoming playable, Linusia, or just Lin as her codename. First let's see the eldest bro. Chongyu is the limited 6-star brawler guard. With his first talent, he got some chance to deal increased damage when attacking. And from talent 2, he will get 3 SP when defeating an enemy with his skill. Thank God all of his skills don't make him enter an SP lockout. From all of his skills, his skill 3 is the one that is mostly used. It has low SP cost, deals high critical damage to multiple enemies, and after activating the skill 5 times, it will turn into an auto trigger skill. Expands the range, enhancing his damage, plus the ASMR. Overall Chongyu is a good 6-star unit, though those who use Mountain regularly might find him weird, since he doesn't have any self-healing ability and normally only blocks one enemy. But the DPS he offers can be significantly higher. Then for the other 6-star beside him, we have Lin. Lin is the second 6-star phalanx caster after Carnelian. Unlike other phalanx, Hypergriff encourages you to use Lin as a bait unit more. This is because her talents. For her first talent, besides the shield she acquires from her tray, she has this glass wall that circles around her and block all kinds of damage. But if the damage value exceeds more than 200, the glass wall will shatter, and then inflict arts damage and stun all enemies in her range. And don't you worry, the glass wall will regenerate after 8 seconds. For talent 2, she has a certain chance to obtain 1 SP when she got attacked. Now for skills, I see most people will often use Lin S3 for the damage. Her skill 2 support ability has its usefulness, though I don't think this is an effective support utility either. Skill 2 will increase her attack speed and reduce the taunt level, and grants the allied unit within her range the same glass wall from her talent 1. As for her last skill, this one will increase her attack and expand her attack range like Carnelian S3, and increase how much damage that the glass wall can withstand. And if she defeats an enemy, she will instantly launch her glass wall attack, then instantly regenerate her glass wall. This skill deals high damage and act more or less like Reed S3, where having a thrash mob inside her range is beneficial. The drawback mostly came from the high SP cost, though there are plenty of ways to manage this. Lin is a caster with great defense ability and strong burst skill, and can be a great addition to your team as bait unit, or multiple enemies handler. Not to mention her debut is in limited banner. Alright, that should wrap up all Arknights' upcoming 6-star operator. For the question of which operator you should prioritize to get, it will be Młynar, Texas Altar, and Penance. They're useful in many content, easy to utilize, and considering how close their debut in global, the other 6 stars can also provide other useful utilities for you. But if I have to choose, these 3 are the ones I recommend to get. Though I'd say it's best you focus on getting Texas Altar, as getting a specific operator in limited banner is more difficult, and you get a shop currency for every pull in limited banner, and standard operator will be back more often to gacha. Like Młynar, who is currently available in CN. And this has gotta be the best standard banner I've ever seen. After those 2 banners, you might want to focus on Chongyu and Lin. Well, we'll have to see the upcoming 6-star after them first. Though limited banner is always worth it to gacha. And don't forget some previous limited operator will appear in a limited banner. That should be all. Adios.